One of the most popular SUVs in America, and it's a stylish one. Today, I have the 2026 Ford Explorer ST line. It's gonna have a lot of new technology in this because it was refreshed last year. That's why I grabbed an expert like Logan Clare here.
Hi, Brian.
Logan. Thanks for joining me today.
Anytime.
Logan and I are gonna take this vehicle for a test drive, so let's get this thing going.
Let's go.
If you're interested in a Ford Explorer, come check out our inventory. We're online at smailford.com or call them, see us off Route 30 in Greensburg, PA. Logan, the exterior color of this one is a nice dark gray. What's it called?
This is carbonized gray metallic. So it's the standard carbonized gray color, but when you're in the light, it does have that little metallic flecks all through it that give it a little bit of shine whenever you're in the light.
Cool. Well, I noticed all the blacked out features in the front as well really blend in together nicely with it. Looks like we have very bright headlights, daytime running lights, fog lights up front, blacked out grille with the Ford logo there in the center. And definitely it looks like we have a lot of safety features on this one. We're going to test those out on the test drive. But as we come around the side, it looks like we have very big wheels.
Because this is the ST line, has the 21-inch wheels, gunmetal gray, wheels.
Yes.
With the blacked out logo, Ford logo.
It blends in really well with the exterior color here. Of course, those brake calipers in red are sticking out in there as well.
Gives it a nice little contrast, I think. It breaks up the darker tone in a good way.
Looks like we have blacked out side view mirrors with turn signal indicators on there. That's nice to have. When we come to the door here, do we have keyless entry?
You do. You have keyless entry, so as long as the key's in your pocket, go ahead and put your hand on the wheel. There, you hear it unlock, pull it open. Now, let's say you needed to relock it, but you don't want to dig through your keys, like let's say they're in a purse or a bag. Go ahead and you just put your finger right on there, and as long as the key's in proximity, it'll lock. They have the little puddle light, that way you can see down on the ground whenever it's dark. A lot of visibility with the Explorer. They do have a lot of lights.
It'd be really good for camping.
Very popular in camping.
And coming around the back side of the Explorer, we have nice LED taillights in the back, very sporty looking. Looks like we have blacked out Explorer logo back there across the center stripe. You also have your hitch. So what's the towing capacity of this vehicle?
The towing capacity with the hitch is 5,000 pounds. So you're gonna get a lot of, you're gonna be able to move a lot of stuff with the Explorer.
Yeah, so it really would be good for camping if you had anything.
Good for camping, small pop-ups, smaller campers.
So in order to get into the tailgate here, I'm just gonna press this button.
Yep.
And we have an automatic tailgate all the way up. That's great to have. You have storage back here. Obviously we have a third row up, so that's great. Let's see if we have any storage underneath here, which we do.
And then if you look underneath, you do have your spare up under there.
Looks like we have lights back here as well as a 12-volt charger. You have nice tie downs down here as well. If I want to get more space in here though, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this top lever and let that go down. Same with the other side. So definitely you can see how much space is there. We can put down those second row seats as well. Opening the back doors here, we have a nice wide opening door. Makes it pretty easy to get in. To get into the third row, I kind of want to see what kind of space we have back here. It's usually not well designed for an adult, but I'd like to just see how much space we have. It's not horrible back here because you do have captain's chairs up here. I can kind of recline my leg a little bit, and you have two seats back here. You have two USB-C fast charging ports on that right side. You do have ventilation back here, which is nice up top. And it's not horrible. You can actually have little windows back here too. So let's go ahead and jump up to those second row seats and see what we have up there. Now in these second row seats, we have captain's chairs back here like Logan was talking about. We have a nice little armrest with these captain's chairs that you can bring down, and what I really like about that is that it just gives me a place to rest back here. You also have a lot of ability to, I can recline these a little bit, and it's very comfortable. Another big thing that I'd like to point out is that these are stitched. They have the red stitching here, and it looks like the center of the seat's more of a cloth and the edge is a leather material.
Yeah, the center is more of a cloth because that works really well with the heated seat feature that the captain's chair has in the ST line. So back here, they do have the heated seat feature. You can control climate control back here, heated seats for both chairs, Type-C chargers. It's basically like a miniature version of being in the driver and passenger seat in the back seat for the Explorer.
And you have a 3-prong house outlet there. It looks like a 110 volt house outlet, which is great. There's a couple little additional cup holders up there.
And there's also the storage behind the seats for driver and passenger. It's like a miniature, like I said, it's like a miniature driver's seat back here.
And one of my favorite things is obviously this large panoramic sunroof. It gives me a lot more vertical visibility back here. You have ventilation whenever we look up here too. So there's a ton of really great features in these second row seats. Let's jump up front. Let's see what's up there, and we'll get this thing out on the road. So sitting in the front seats of the Explorer, and you know, this has got a lot of different types of textures up here. It looks like you have like a leather up top. This is more of a cloth.
Yeah.
But it rolls all the way over to B&O over there, right?
Sound system.
Okay. So
B&O is one of the best sound systems, and the majority of people will say it's one of the best sound systems you can put in a car.
Yeah.
It has a lot of customization. It has a lot of power to it. It's just a very good sound system. You know, it distributes noise well through the cabin.
Well, we were listening to some Teddy Swims a moment ago, and it sounded pretty good.
We were, yeah.
Of course, we have the Explorer logo there, other textures, this red stitching throughout all these, even the seats that we're sitting on look really great. Looks like you even have a nice little pouch here for storing some stuff. Obviously, this gigantic screen here in the center is, you know, our centerpiece. What size is this?
So this is 13.2 inches. It's one of the bigger screens. You have a lot of options, a lot of playing around to do with it. You have your home screen, you know, where you can add your phones, create your driver profiles, change your music.
So that begs the question, do we have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto?
Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I actually went to a training back in, I think it was end of August with Ford, and I forgot to mention it in the last video, but that's one thing. Ford is very adamant. They know Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are two of the most popular features a car can have, and they are very adamant that every Ford and Lincoln that comes out of their lineup is going to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Is it wireless in this car?
Yeah, you can connect your phone. So you can, it also will connect if you use the Ford Pass app to scan it to connect it to your phone. You can connect it through, through Bluetooth. You can plug it in down here if you want to use a cord. There's just so many different ways to link your phone to the car.
You know, while we're talking about that, we do have great power options. If we look down here, we have a USB-C, a USB-A, and a 12-volt charger down there. So, you know, you can get adapters, but what's really great about this is that no matter what kind of phone you have or device, you can charge it. You also have the shifter down here, and just for people who aren't familiar, this is a dial shifter, so you can go reverse.
So that's becoming a little more standard in Fords, especially with the SUVs and stuff.
Down here, we have different drive modes, actually. If I toggle this, we have a lot, so let's check that out.
So normal is exactly as it says. It's your normal everyday driving experience. It's balanced, good amount of power, good amount of gas, good amount of control.
We have slippery.
That's really good for what is actually coming up now. You know, it's supposed to snow, so that's good when the roads aren't the deepest. They're really slick. You have that, you know, really thick, like wet snow.
Yes.
And you have a lot of rain. You can't, you know, bad visibility. That's what that drive mode's meant for.
Cool. And we have other drive modes. We have the off-road mode, so obviously
off-road's rough, uneven terrain. You know, if you're going camping, you're going on back roads, or even if like you're going on like a driveway with a lot of snow.
Yes.
I've been told it works really well.
So if we go back the other way, we have the eco mode for efficient driving.
Sacrificing a lot of power for gas, sacrificing a lot of gas for more speed and power, and then towing.
Yeah.
It's for towing.
Yeah. So a lot of different drive modes here, a lot of different ways you can use the Explorer, especially like what you said, you had 5,000
5,000 pound towing capacity.
Yeah. One last thing I'd really like to point out whenever we're here is just the armrest space, because we do have a 12-volt charger in there and a lot of storage. So that'll keep people happy. Now up top here, we obviously have this shade that comes back with that panoramic sunroof covering it. It looks like, you know, it's just one press. You know, I think it stops halfway and then you can go forward again. That's really nice. Let's see what happens when we open up this sunroof.
Well, actually, Brian, the sunroof doesn't open on the 26 Explorer.
Really?
So on the 25 Explorer, it opens.
Yeah.
The 26 Explorer followed in the footsteps of the Mustang Mach-E.
Okay.
Because it is one of the few other vehicles like this. This does not open.
Okay.
You can close this if
Yes.
you want it to be darker, but it does not open because Ford did realize that you're paying a lot of money to open a mirror, and a lot of people don't open them.
Yeah.
You know, so they just have it as a fixed, closed thing that you can take advantage of whether you want to or not.
You do have a lot more visibility up there with this type of roof.
Well, because now you're missing out on that bar in the middle that would open it halfway.
That makes sense now.
So now you're getting like a pure view. So if I were to recline and look at the stars, I'm seeing straight.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
On the steering wheel, it looks like on the left-hand side, we have our safety features. We'll go over that stuff on the test drive. We have our volume buttons and our mute button. On the right side of the steering wheel, it looks like we have the ability to change what's up here on our instrument cluster. And we have a lot of different information that we could put up on there. It's a fully digital display up there, and it's really nice, vivid. We also have our push-to-talk button. We can make phone calls and hang up phone calls with the right side as well. And, you know, we have our lights on the left side over here. You probably can't see from the back seat, but they're hidden there. If we want to change any of our seat settings or our AC settings, that's at the bottom of this.
That's all at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. So as you can see, you don't have your heated seat on. I got mine on full blast here, but you have, so for the driver, you press it. You can do, it'll show you your little 3 bars to show how powerful your seat is. There's the automatic seat where it'll kind of gauge for you, and then your heated steering wheel. So
what we're gonna do, we're gonna put the vehicle into reverse here. We're gonna check out this backup camera, right? We have a nice big backup camera. Right there, we have the cross traffic monitor showing us that there's a vehicle behind us and what direction it's coming from. That's great to have in a busy parking lot situation. The steering wheel is changing those guidelines. It looks like you can line up a hitch.
It's like a drive along. It's like a drive along guideline. There's your hitch. Green, you know, there's your back.
Yeah.
But green, the closer you intrude on those different colors, the faster it'll beat.
And you can see the 360 on the right-hand side, which is cool. You can zoom in anywhere that you would want to zoom in. So just make sure you know you're paying attention. You know, you also have all these different views that we were talking about earlier.
So go ahead and this one I'm not. So this is if you don't like 360. There are people who don't like 360 overhead. They prefer. So as you can see, it's a little green down here. If you look close down, the camera can capture it. But when you move into that yellow, this shrinks and goes yellow. When you move into the red, it shrinks and goes into the red. Then there's also like this 3-prong that we can get it at like angles if you're working a tight spot. Or there's even like your trailer if you're going. So
in normal mode here, I'm gonna go ahead and get us up to speed. All right, well, I can hear that engine getting us up to speed. What kind of power, what kind of engine do we have in here?
So you have the 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine with the 300 horsepower.
Okay.
It's pretty standard in Ford arrays for SUVs and stuff.
So in front of us, we noticed that I did set my adaptive cruise control and the vehicle in front of me is slowing down. We're slowing down based on their speed. And it looks like it's bringing us down to a complete stop just fine. I didn't have to hit the accelerator or the brake at all during that.
Yeah, so it's nice because it allows you, especially if you're going on long trips, that way you can kind of, instead of being tense and cramped the whole time, you can kind of sit back, relax, still be in control of your driving experience, because at any point you can manually take control back, or it will alert you saying, hey, you know, return, you know, control being handed back to the driver. So
great for stop and go traffic, great for any trips where you're going to be stopped at a light or anything, so like every trip, right? I absolutely love adaptive cruise control for my vehicle. It just really helps you with those crazy stop and go traffic.
I went on a vacation to Hershey about 2 months ago, and it's about a 3.5 hour drive here from Greensburg. I threw it in adaptive cruise control and drove for a solid maybe 3 hours out of a 3.5 hour drive in adaptive.
You didn't think to bring me back any chocolate?
I didn't even bring myself back any chocolate. I brought back Twizzler.
The next thing I activated is the lane keep assist. It's up here on the steering wheel. And what is this doing for us, Logan?
So lane keep assist will keep you within the lines of the road. If you start, let's say you're not paying attention and you're taking your wheel a little too much left or right, the vehicle, and I'm feeling it now, is pulling you in. It's not meant to be a hands-free driving, but like, let's say, you know, you're guiding one way or you're cutting it a little too close, it will move you back, which is very helpful. And it's really great for people learning how to drive, or, you know,
you're not as attentive. Maybe.
Yeah, you're not as attentive. I'm not the most attentive driver. I hate to admit it, but so I always keep my lane keeping assist on, and there are times where I'll get sidetracked looking at a tree, and it pulls me back in.
Right here, I noticed my entire instrument cluster changed colors, and it now says hands-free on
So
there.
we are currently on a BlueCruise road. BlueCruise is something we talked about before here. It is a service offered by Ford that will, on certain roads in America, it will give you hands-free driving.
Okay.
It will match the speed. It'll turn lanes for you. If you just put the turn signal on, it'll go on its own. You know, it's really nice, but you do have to be staring forward.
Yeah.
You don't have to have your hands on the wheel like you do adaptive, but you have to be looking forward. It wants you to be attentive. If you're off looking to the side because of the sensor right there.
Okay, so that's actually reading my eyeballs.
Yes, it's making sure that you're looking forward, because if you're not, it's going to hand control the vehicle back to you. It's going to notify you, but it's going to recognize you're not using BlueCruise properly.
And that's what's really cool about this, is that right now I just turned on my turn signal because we're coming onto an on-ramp, and this vehicle just turned lanes by itself. Now I'm just going to go back over to here so that now that we're past that, and this vehicle completely changes lanes by itself. All I did was turn on the turn signal with that hands-free, that BlueCruise.
For example, my grandfather, my first ever sale was an Explorer. It was an ST line Explorer, very similar to this. He wanted a truck. He didn't like where the payments were coming out at. He went home, messaged me 20 minutes later, and he said, I really like this Explorer. And he loves it, you know, and it's shocking. I've only ever known him to drive trucks in the whole 23 years I've been alive,
but he likes it.
He does like his Explorer.
Yeah.
You know, it has a lot of cool features. It goes up to his campsite well. Blind spot assist is probably my favorite safety feature in the whole of any Ford lineup.
You can see it here in the mirror. It's going to light up for me when somebody's in my blind spot. When I turn on my turn signal, that's now flashing at me and alerting me that somebody's over there.
It flashes at you, and also in my case, as I noticed, because one time I probably wasn't paying the most attention, it kept me in lane. It would not let me move, and when I was getting annoyed, I was like, why isn't it letting me move? I looked over, there was a vehicle in my blind spot, and that was blinking.
Wow.
And it would not let me move over.
So in sport mode, let's get this thing onto the highway. All right. And you can hear that engine. We got thrown back in our seats.
We did,
That 300 horsepower. Just really a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah, the Explorer's a fun car. It's a very fun car. I enjoy it. It's practical. It's fun. It gives you a little bit of everything.
Yeah. As far as warranty goes on the Explorer, what do we have for that?
A standard 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 5-year, 60,000 mile power terrain, and a 5-year or 60,000 mile roadside assistance.
So the Ford Explorer, jam-packed full of a lot of really great features, easy to see why it's one of the most popular vehicles in America. Logan, if people have questions about any of the features here, how would they be able to contact you?
If you have any questions about the Ford Explorer, stop in and see us at Smale Ford in Greensburg, PA, off Route 30, or visit us online at smaleford.com.
That's going to do it for our test drive today. So until next time, enjoy the ride.
Have fun. Hope to see you soon.